How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is your friend AfroDJMac, here with your other friend, Justin Bieber. We got the Justin Bieber super fun Ableton Live pack for you. All these sounds were made with sounds from my wonderful Justin Bieber keyboard guitar. So, let's talk about it. Okay, so you get 4 pretty cool things this time. This thing here has a synth, some drum samples, and then some Justin Bieber like vocal snippet samples. And I've put them all together here. First we'll start with the synth. Here it is, sounds like this. In its natural state. You have control over a bunch of different things. For one, all the samples here. I sampled 3 notes, and then there's a flanger effect. So I also sampled the way it sounds with that. And basically, when you turn this first knob, you are switching from the flange sound from the clean sound into the flange sound. So it sounds like this. And as like a little added touch, I just threw in a little flanger effect just to augment it, because it's not super pronounced on its own. So there it is. You got your filter. And I thought this week we'd experiment with the morph filter. So basically, this guy here can turn into lots of different filters depending on how you morph it. Whoops. So you can change things in a different kind of manner than your normal low pass. And what I also noticed about this is it seems to be a little more resonant than the low pass filter, which is kind of cool. So you get that real piercing high bump there. So let's talk about the crowd noise, named after the adoring fans. All this is the shaper getting mixed in at 4 bits. Just creates a little noise for you. Zone shifter is just changing the zone of the which samples are being selected. So that affects the sound of it. Carrying on, I put a vocoder, which adds some like cool dirt to this. Let's select that, and also a delay. And this delay is set to repitch mode. And repitch mode gives you those cool analog twists. Alright. Let's see what else we got here to show you. So that's the synth. And with that synth, I was able to make these chord sounds. And I left some effects on here so you can see what I did to these stems of that little track I played in the beginning. So that's at the chord. I made these high note melody here, which was achieved by basically messing around with these 2 knobs as I was playing the melody. And what's kind of cool too is I made a hi-hat sort of thing by going up to an extremely high octave and playing with the filter. So it shows that you can really do some diverse things with this one little synth sound. Certainly beyond the length of the original here. That doesn't really have too many sounds on it on its own. So here are the drums, the Justin Bieber drums, and this thing only comes with 3 different drum sounds. Those are them, but I put 3 more on using the impulse. So these are the normal, like, simpler drums, and then these are the impulse ones. And the reason I did that is because then you can start stretching your sample out, and that is controlled by this knob up here. So this is the normal kind of sound pretty much. Let's stretch it all the way and compress it or shrink it. So it just gives you some extra little sounds to work with besides the originals. There's a bit crusher, and they give you control over the bit reduction, but once you turn this knob here all the way down, the bit crusher shuts off. I have something set up here to give you a little extra sub inside the drum sounds. This is basically just a resonator on one chain and then dry nothingness on the other chain. This gives you like a heavier drum, I guess. Okay, there's reverb on here and just a little compression and a limiter. So that's the drums. Then maybe the most exciting part here are the samples. And these... There's all kinds of funness in there. And that's how I got this sound. From the, song in the beginning. It's just a couple of those different notes. And in case you kind of like this little setup here for your dropping samples when you slice to MIDI, I gave you the kind of template that I use. So all you have to do is take this and go ahead and drop it inside your library under defaults and slicing. And that's where all your slicing presets go. They're all right there. All you have to do is just drop it in there, and then you'll have it there to use if you like it. Yeah, with this thing you can do a couple cool things. You can take those samples as a filter. You can play around with the release. That turning it all the way up essentially makes it a one-shot. I like keeping them nice and tight though. Get a little more rhythmic with them. You can play around with the volume if you need to. Then there's the transpose knob. Turn it all the way up and you get this crazy chipmunky thing. That's kind of a fun knob. Gives you some cool effects there. You can play around with the LFO on the filter if you like. Get those crazy sounds, and then there's the spread knob, which is just making things sound a little more stereo. So that's it. That's 4 things there for you. I hope you like them. They're a lot of fun, I think. As I said, this whole little intro track was made just using those sounds, and here are the 6 parts of it right here. And then what I did is I just recorded all of those to a track so that these are just the affected process things. So if you want to make a remix with it, go right ahead, have fun, send it along, and I'll post it and give you a shout out because I think it's cool that you are using this stuff. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the Justin Bieber Super Fun Ableton Live pack.